my honor to welcome Andy Marsh, CEO of Plug Power, one of the top scoring companies in our most recent Best Places to Work survey. Welcome, Andy.
Well, thank you, Walter. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll just start with the questions here. We have 5 questions here for you. First question is, Plug Power has been an impactful part of the Capital Region for a few decades now. For those who haven't encountered Plug, can you tell us what the company does and where you're headed on a global basis?
Well, Walter, the world's moving to hydrogen. People like Bloomberg talk about 20% of world energy will come from hydrogen by the year 2050. And Plug Power actually created the first commercial market for hydrogen and fuel cells. Not the sexiest market in the world. We put fuel cells into forklift trucks to start and built hydrogen fueling stations. But COVID happened and people realized over 25% of food in the US were actually moving through a product that Plug Power developed in distribution centers for people like Walmart and Amazon. And look, we do a lot more than that. When you look at the entire hydrogen ecosystems, from building hydrogen plants to fueling stations, we've done 165, more than anyone else in the world. Those fueling stations are using fuel from many partners, but soon from Plug Power, where we're building 500 tons of green hydrogen plants across the country. We're into on-road mobility with people like Renault, who us Americans think about as Nissan. We're involved in building large-scale stationary products with people like SK, one of the largest conglomerates in the world. And we've grown not only through internal efforts, but inorganically through, we don't say we acquire companies, we say we want companies to come join us to share our vision. And during the last year, we've acquired 4 companies who do everything from hydrogen generation with electrolyzers to providing hydrogen trailers to deliver our liquid hydrogen. So the company itself, if you think about what the future hydrogen ecosystem looks like, well, take a look at Plug Power today and you can see it all.
That's very exciting. So
it is really exciting, Walter.
Exciting.
It's a great time to be in clean energy. It's a great time to be at Plug Power.
Yeah. So what elements of the work make Plug Power such an exciting place to work?
But think about it. How many places can you go that you can be part of changing the world? And look, we're, as I mentioned before, numbers from Bloomberg and others, hydrogen fuel cell are instrumental and critical in meeting the long-term climate goals. I was recently at COP26, and all that sounds great, but I think it's how we work together to achieve that goal. Everywhere from our HR staff, they've had to work through, the company had less than 700 employees pre-COVID. Today, we'll have 2,500 folks around the world. It's from, if you're in legal and finance, you get to work on such cool deals from acquisitions to joint ventures. I mean, we have at the moment 3 joint ventures ongoing. That's really cool things to do. And you really don't get to do that on a regular basis at many companies. And it's technologies which are different than what anyone else has done before. That's why it's exciting to engineering. If you're an ops person, just think about it. You're building a gigafactory, the first of its kind in Rochester, New York. You get to do first of its kind work, but you're also working in an environment that, quite honestly, the fact we believe in teaming, the fact we believe in transparency, all that kind of adds up to a great place to work. So why I work here is because it's exciting, it's fun, and I get to team and work with so many great folks across such a wide variety of disciplines.
So you've been on the best places to work list for 7 years. What do you think makes you such a standout company?
Well, I think if you take a look back, it kind of goes back to my last answer, Walter. First, we're transparent. You know, we uh, we respect, but I also think this is really important. It's not really a cliche with us. Um, we like the people we work with every day. Uh, and I think the fact that we try to make it a challenging place to work. This is probably the closest to a Silicon Valley type company in the Albany area. So it's very challenging, it's fast paced, but also underneath it all is that we really work well together. Doesn't mean we always agree. We have some great heated discussions, but ultimately, I think because of that level of transparency and our ability to work together, we ultimately align and all march in the same direction as a team. And we recognize that sometimes we're going to have to change the path, but we do that together and we do that as one.
So staying with that, how would you describe Plug's culture?
I think first off, we're aggressive. It's a teamy environment, but look, how many companies would think my revenue is going to go up during COVID, that I'm going to raise $5 billion worth of capital doing it over Zoom, that I'm going to create JVs over Zoom, that we're not going to think that this crisis was going to slow us down. We were thinking, how could we accelerate the push of hydrogen and fuel cells? And that's just basic core to our culture is, we don't let challenges get in our way. We think about challenges as opportunities. I also think core to our culture is the last answer highlight is, we do it together. It's not me sitting up in some grand tower saying, this is what we're going to do. It's a culture where we discuss, we debate, we try to let the best ideas win. And quite honestly, the best ideas don't always come from me. I would say most of the best ideas don't come from me. They come from us working together, sharing our individual experiences throughout our careers and trying to combine the two to make the best. We're really fit the equation 1 + 1 = 3. Us working together creates a much greater good. And that cooperation and how we work together is not only apparent in our individual relationships, it's how we cooperate with others. We're deeply involved in government. I'm the chairman of the Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Energy Association in the US, which is 75 companies. We cooperate with others. You don't do joint ventures without knowing how to cooperate with others. We are a company that has a very, very aggressive culture, but one that wants to grow and help create a better world and, quite honestly, a bigger market for everybody in this industry. And that's core to who Plug Power is.
Well, that's amazing. So, for my final question, how do you keep your workforce engaged given the COVID-19 environment?
Well, I think, Walter, first is I never thought about the COVID-19 environment as slowing us down. We have had every week, nonstop throughout COVID, we have had weekly meetings where I talk to the employees about first what our missions and goals are, and first and foremost about keeping safe, our missions and goals, and really make sure that it's clear to everyone in the organization where we were heading. And during those weekly calls, this week we had folks from our reliability team explain to everyone in the organization what we're looking to accomplish. I also will take unending Q&A that any employee can ask me any question. I never take insult. They're always not friendly. every day, Walter. They can ask me anything they like, and Plug is really open to telling folks how it is. But underneath it all, I think during COVID, I think people understand we as a community have compassion for each other, and that we have a common mission and goal. And I think that combination really makes Plug Power a special place to work, and why, we've been on your list for 7 years. And I hope, I expect that there'll be 7 times 10, 70 years in the future, because, it's a special place to work. It's a special industry to work in. And it's a place that I'm really glad that I'm an employee of Plug Power.
Well, Andy, thank you for sharing those insights with us. And congratulations again on your 2021 Best Places to Work win.
Thank you very much, Walter. And we really appreciate the effort at your organization. So thank you.
Thank you.